The mission of Village Home is pretty straightforward. It's to be a learning community that provides academic and social enrichment for families who homeschool. In the recent past in American history, homeschooling has been kind of dominated by two different groups on opposite ends of a spectrum. And the growth in homeschooling is actually occurring in the middle of this spectrum.
I started homeschooling my son 5 years ago. Even though everybody was telling me he was doing fine, he was okay, he was not thriving, and that's what I really wanted for him. Kind of thought initially I would only do it for a short while, maybe a year, and then put him back in public school. But then we started to enjoy it so much, and I saw so much growth in him, and everybody was telling me how happy he seemed, and it's like I had my son back.
I began homeschooling when Nicholas was 3. We had a co-op, a group of women that all wanted to homeschool their kids together. As the kids grew and more kids were added to the group as we all had children, I then realized the boys needed more than what I could offer them, and I finally came to an open house and said, okay, yeah, I think I'm ready to jump in.
We have all different kinds of families that walk in the door at Village, and some of them have been homeschooling for a while, and some of them are brand new to the whole idea of homeschooling. And it happens almost once a week, literally, that someone walks in the door with some version of, I've just taken my child out of school, what do I do now? And it's nice that they have a doorstep to land on, and they walk down the hall and they meet other families who are on this path, and it's so comforting.
One of the most reassuring things for me as a homeschool mom who's relatively new to homeschooling is meeting all of these kids. And you get to know them, and they're kind, they're compassionate, they're smart, they're able to communicate in ways that are really different than the way that their peers in a traditional classroom setting are able to communicate. And then you talk to their parents, and there's this wide range of homeschooling styles. And it gives me a lot more confidence to try new things with what we're doing at home, because I see how amazing it all works out.
Everybody in education knows that if you're looking at success rates for kids, the key component is how involved are the parents. And yet, really getting them involved in a traditional classroom is tough. And so taking away that barrier to the parent so that the parent can be in the classroom anytime and participating in whatever way they want to, that's incredibly powerful.
The parents know that they're welcome to suggest things for classes. If they have an idea or a topic that they want to see covered, I'll try my best to implement that. And being built on a community of education, I think it helps that parents and the group are dictating where the classes go. I'm just trying to help people facilitate and learn what they feel they want to and what they're interested in. So I think that open avenue is key to having these classes be able to adapt to the needs of the kids.
Especially with younger kids, having an adult in is very helpful because they need that. They need that reinforcement. I like when families come in, they participate, they model for their children. They take a lot of the pressure off of me when they do that too, because then we're all there together as part of a team.
I like it more when parents are there. I mean, because one, then they know what their child is engaged in. And so I feel like at that point it's a partnership.
Village Home is unique because we really embrace the family as being the central sphere for the education. And we don't pretend to be the expert that knows more about your child than you do. And we're there to support what's going to help them and not to dictate what needs to be done.
Well, we kind of fall more toward what people refer to as unschooling, where you kind of let kids choose a direction and a thing they're interested in, and then we sort of facilitate them finding the answers to their questions or learning about those things. And Village just adds a whole nother layer to that we couldn't provide at home. Things that require maybe to do things in a group context. Also, the educational style, everybody's a little bit different how they learn, and everybody's a little bit different how they teach something. And so it gives the kids some opportunity to learn from some people who would teach different than dad or mom teaches.
Our goal is for our kids to be exposed to things that will excite them and inspire them, that they'll want to dive deeper into. They get that throughout the day, every day at Village. Sometimes it's hard to choose what of this long list of things they're excited about they want to dive into.
Latin 1, 2, and 3.
Organic gardening,
Architectural drawing,
messy art,
U.S. foreign policy,
Lego robotics,
Astronomy,
Living Literature Circle,
math classes,
philosophy for dummies,
junior achievement,
Little Villagers,
geometry, algebra,
Explorers,
Hero's Journey,
Shakespeare,
sing, dance, and play,
Escher class,
chess club,
Conversations with Europeans,
folk dancing,
taekwondo,
good sports,
science,
art history,
Video Game Club,
Art with Alice,
village voyagers,
sports mixer,
science bowl,
language arts for 5th and 6th graders,
Adventures in Science,
Greek, math, and architecture,
culture clash,
fizz boom pop,
FTC,
Harry Potter,
World War II in film,
how things work,
Foreign Policy,
Conversations with Americans,
Batteries, Buildings, and Bridges,
U.S. history through music,
art literacy,
take it apart,
Sewing,
Destination Imagination,
Age of Empires,
Algebra 2,
math artistry,
Revolutions in Secrecy,
a democracy in action.
Whoa! I want to do it again!
The more that we can put the learners into the driver's seat of their education, then the more their learning is intrinsically motivated, which is what we're going for. That's what makes a lifelong learner. So we set that up by being a choice-based environment where the kids can choose what they want to learn. And so we've set up basically a community college starting at kindergarten. You know, these 8 and 9-year-olds can make really intelligent decisions about what classes they want to take or who inspires them to learn. So they are, at a very early age, taking responsibility for their learning.
At the beginning of the term, we'll sit down and I'll print out the schedule and I sit one-on-one and probably have a good half-hour, 45-minute conversation with them. What are they interested in learning this year? What direction do they want their skills to go? And I let them, we go through the whole schedule and look at the descriptions if it's a new class. They also look for their favorite teachers and what their favorite teachers are teaching, and they decide.
Not a tree snake.
To have quality instruction, I mean, you have to pick people who are interested in what they're teaching, first and foremost. So we go for instructors who have a genuine passion for what they teach. And aside from that, the most important thing we can do for a teacher is to give them a small class. So we cap our classes at 15, and our average class size is 8 kids. And that really gives an instructor time and space to be with each child as an individual and to tailor a course as the kids want to and need to.
I'm excited when they can take an idea I've thrown out and take it a step further, and it happens all the time. And it's up to me as the teacher to allow that. That's what really counts.
It's a wonderful experience teaching at Village, and the thing that makes it so unique is that the focus can be just on inspiring that passion for learning and diving deeper into whatever it is the kids are most excited about. And we don't have to teach to standards or with the hope of kids getting a particular score on the test.
I think that it's more intense an activity to assimilate, digest, and really consider what people are giving me. And since there's no guideline that's guiding me, I have to take more of an interest to really consider what they're doing.
I love the freedom to just do the things that are most fun, things in a traditional classroom that are kind of the culmination of after you get through all of these bits and pieces, finally you get to do the fun projects. At Village, you always get to do the fun projects. That's great.
In public schools, I felt like the teachers were my peers and the students were a problem and the parents were something to be feared and the administration was my boss. And at Village, everybody's my friend. This is something that I'm doing what I love in a way I never thought I could.
We also have other things that are important. Peer-to-peer learning is really important. Plenty of opportunity for kids to learn from each other.
At Village, that just happens naturally, and that empathy and compassion kids have innately for one another just gets to shine through and grow. Another really important thing I see happening all the time is that older kids have an opportunity to really nurture the younger children in a very natural way. One thing that's really wonderful about the opportunities kids have to develop friendships at Village is that because there's not artificial age grouping, kids can kind of find other children who have similar interests and similar personalities.
We do that lots of different ways outside of the classroom even. I mean, we do a 15-minute break because that time interacting in the hall with your friend is really important. And so we want to be sure that that's part of the experience for kids too.
The biggest surprise has been that it works. And maybe this is a bunch of la-la. Maybe this is not really the real stuff. But what I found was it's really the real stuff, and you have to make this paradigm shift. It's scary, it's tricky, and the surprise was, yeah, it really does work.
Everybody's there to help the kids be better. I mean, be better learners, be better people, be better at what they're passionate about. And so the kids are really nurtured.
As a parent, a student, teacher, facilitator, administrator, board member, I think we're trying to be decent human beings. You know, we're trying to live right here, trying to do the best we can. I think that's absolutely perfect.
The thing that surprises me the most is the depth of gratitude that I catch wind of. A mom just sent me an email, just one line that said, "You would not believe how much Village Home has changed our life."
Our kids love going to Village Home. I think they've all said it's their favorite part of the homeschooling experience.
I think just how excited they are to be there and just how, oh my gosh, this is so wow. And every part, you know, they're in algebra class with that attitude.
I think the most important thing I see is happy kids. It's very palpable when you walk in the door.
The children are already geniuses. Human beings are natural learners. We don't have to force it. What we have to do is allow it.